Make sure you join. You guys did awesome this last meeting.
Right?
So,
Yeah.
so
Were you
proud of y'all. Yes. See?
We good?
It's not working. Did you join the meeting?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to begin this evening's board meeting. The school board meeting of September 11, 2018 is now called to order. The time is 6:00 p.m. At this time, we request that you turn off all electronic devices. Also, we ask that you please refrain from using flash photography except during the special presentations portion of the meeting. We would like to take this opportunity to remind the members of the public of the district's mission, which is to ensure that each student reaches his or her highest personal potential and the district's vision to be a world-class school system. This evening's agenda includes the invocation, the Pledge of Allegiance, one acknowledgement, one recognition, public comment, consent action items, which include 4 items under executive services, 4 items under business services, 1 item under human resources, 1 item under information systems, 6 items under operations, 1 of which is good cause. Dr. Adkins, would you please provide an explanation for this item?
So, Madam Chair, be happy to. This is a agreement with the Lee County Sheriff's Office for school resource officers. This negotiation has been ongoing, but recently came to a conclusion, and with the school year starting, we want to go ahead and get this agreement to the board as quickly as possible.
Thank you. As presiding officer, I find there is good cause to add this item to the agenda. And four items under other business. Board members, is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Fisher, seconded by Mrs. Giovanelli. Please record your vote. Carries 7-0. Mrs. LaRiviere will deliver the invocation, after which Dr. Kuckel will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise for the invocation.
Please join me. Our Father, I just thank you for the honor and privilege of serving our community, our students, and our families. I ask that you give us guidance and wisdom and decision-making that is made this evening. Make our hearts eager to seek for ways to meet the needs of our students. May we be eager to look for ways to transform the lives of our students and their families. Help us, Lord, to rejoice in celebrations in our students' lives that happen daily. And thank you for the privilege of tonight to celebrate amongst all of us. We just humbly ask for your guidance and your direction. Amen.
The cadet presenting the colors for tonight's Pledge of Allegiance will be introduced by First Sergeant Frank Smith, Army instructor for the JROTC program at Island Coast High School. First Sergeant Frank Smith retired from the Army after 21 years of active duty and is a veteran of Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Iron Eagle, and Iraqi Freedom. He has served in the school district for the past 6 years.
Thank you. Thank you. Presenting the national colors tonight is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Logan. Cadet Logan is the Gator Battalion Commander, has participated for the last 3 years in the JROTC program. He's attended many parades, community service, and service learning projects, and leadership camps. Cadet Logan developed outstanding leadership skills as a member of the Raider, Drill, Rifle, Color Guard, and Academic Bowl teams. Outside of JROTC, Cadet Logan has been involved in student government, Key Club, and numerous varsity sports while at Island Coast High School. He holds a 4.6 GPA. Upon graduation, he plans to attend the United States Military Academy. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Yep.
Yes, the young lady sitting right here.
Yes, there's a recognition, right? Can't do that.
I would like to ask Assistant Principal Ms. Tammy Lemaster, fifth grade teachers, Dr. Becky Poppy, and Ms. Patsy Howell, school counselor Ms. Lori Wallace, as well as Ms. Pat Harding, representing the Fraternal Order of Eagles, and student Lila Seitz, to please join me at the lectern. Since 1967, the God flag, hold on 1 second, I'm going to give you a little thing. Since 1967, the God, Flag, and Country Oratory Program has been an integral part of the Fraternal Order of Eagles' drive to build patriotism and instill a sense of pride within our youth. This program invites students between the ages of 10 and 15 to prepare a 3-minute speech about what God, their flag, or their country means to them. The God, Flag, and Country Oratory Program encourages middle and high school students to learn more about their country, its history, and their religion. On July 7th and 8th, 2018, Lila Seitz, a fifth grade teacher at Three Oaks Elementary, represented Florida at the National Convention in Dallas, Texas, and won 3rd place in the 10 and 11-year-old division. The school board and superintendent are pleased to congratulate you, Lila, for winning the 3rd place nationally in the 2018 God, Flag, and Country Oratory Program. Congratulations. Good job. Good job. Thank you.
It's a matter of semantics.
What's that?
It's a matter of semantics.
Character word for September is acceptance, recognition of the diversity of others, their opinions, practices, and culture with a favorable reception. The quote is from Stephen Covey: "Strength lies in differences, not in similarities." The design you see displayed on the screens was created by Blake Hasinger, a 2018 graduate of Dunbar High School.
Excellent.
The next item on the agenda is public comment. Mr. Dodig, please address the agenda item of public comment.
Point of order, do we give the crowd an opportunity to leave?
Oh, yes.
If they want to.
If you would like to leave, you may take this opportunity to do so.
Thank you.
Ms. Patrica.
Coming.
To stay
If
for
you
the
want to
business
stay, you're
meeting.
more than welcome.
It's all about acceptance.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So school board policy provides the opportunity at this point in the meeting to address the board concerning any matter on this meeting's agenda or any other matter relevant to the operation of the school district. If you completed a card and submitted it to me before the meeting began, you will be called in the order of the card submitted. If you did not submit a card but still wish to address the board this evening, Ms. Morgan, the board chair, will give you an opportunity in a moment to express that desire. The rules concerning public comment are posted at the back of the room. The board does not respond during public comment time to remarks made by speakers. At the end of the public comment period, the board chair will address the assignment of any concerns or requests made during public comment to the superintendent. Speakers and those attending the meeting are expected to act in a respectful manner. Attacks on individuals or abusive comments are prohibited. Time per speaker is 3 minutes. Madam Chair, I have 2 cards.
Is there anyone on the right side of the auditorium who wishes to address the board and didn't fill out a blue card? Anyone on the left side? Okay, Mr. Dodig, please call the first card.
The first card is Miss Jerry Ware.
Superintendent, I'm concerned about James Stevens. I left there distraught, so distraught. I called Mrs. Morgan. We can't do this. It appears to me, and you know I'm not a negative person, but it appears to me sabotage, because how can you send 2 BI units to a school that has just came out of what I call Lazarus state? When you say raise them from the dead, it rose. But it seemed to me that it was unjust to send 2 BI units there. Now, how did I learn this? I'm always there. I call and ask permission to come and sit and have lunch and observe. I went there that day with the intent of observing some young people that play football down the street, because I said if their behavior is not appropriate in school, they'll reap the repercussions when they get down there. But anyway, I learned as I sat there, and I watched a child exhibiting elopement. I'm a nurse, you should know that. And I said to Mrs. Bridget, is this your task, to watch this child elope? She said, yes, ma'am. We have to make sure that he doesn't. He went out the cafeteria door. She's got to go find him, bring him back. He was all to the stage. Then I watched a set of kids that were in this BI unit. And I just said, well, I said to the SRO officer, where's the security guard, security person? Well, we don't have a security person here anymore. So my concern, before my minutes are up, I called Mrs. Morgan, I talked to Dr. Kuckle, I called Mr. Deming, I called Mr. Bohatch, I called everybody I could call. I called Dr. Creel, but I did not get a response from her. But I am so concerned that we have removed responses and we're setting that school up for failure. But we need to address, why should we not have general ed with children with the one-on-one? Because I know what I'm talking about, trust me. I'm going to talk with Mrs. Duncan. I'm going to meet with Mrs. Brooks, because I believe in trying to assist. I'm begging you once again, do not do what is getting ready to happen to James Stevens. Those BI units never should have been placed at that school. And I was not sent there by anyone other than myself. You all know how I am. I'm very observant. Thank you so much for listening to me. And once again, I implore you, I will be back at this stage time and time again until we resuscitate what I think is a dying state. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next card is Mr. Lou Navarro.
Lou Navarra, retired teacher of impeccable character. Does that sound good? Let's get to work. Where have we heard that one from? The regressive sales tax that you do not need. Let's look at the spending. We're putting new signs in, according to my information. They're beautiful LED signs. Tropic Isles, Calusa, $38,955 for the new sign at Tropic Isles, $5,000 plus for All-Phase Electric, $22,000 at Calusa Middle. As I said, $10,500 for board docks, and that doesn't count the 12,000 screens which you kept up. That shows a little financial responsibility. I just talked about how to save at least from the tax watchdogs, and I'll get his permission and send this to you guys. $351 million, look into privatization instead of the 10-year sales tax. Look into all the privatization like Duval County, which we've said before. You can actually save $686,000. They're proposing some things through retirement system too. Drop program, and I'm well aware of the drop program, but we won't talk about that tonight. States already ruined your retirement and make you pay 3%, which they weren't supposed to. What else? Well, we're talking about saving money. And if we can save this money, and then we need money, then we can look at it. I've said that before. And your assumptions that 35% of the people are going to pay for this tourist, we're not going to have any tourists. Go out there to Cape Coral with the algae. It smells. They've ruined us. Thank you, Lake Okeechobee and politicians. You've got lots of property. Sell that first. Then let's see what you got. Okay? Here it is. Last thing I want to talk about real quick. You have the highest retention rate, 13.1. I think we need to look at that. That was given to me, I told you last time. Donnie Hopper gave me some stuff about cell phones. That man, you should have never let him go to the private sector. He's a creative principal. And he had a thing here called, I think you need to look at it because the cell phones are out of control, let's face it. Yonder, Y-O-N-D-E-R. I'll forward this to you. Other things, yeah, because it's out of control. Let's start with the middle school. Privatization, I think Manatee hired their own police force. I think we should look into that. Why? I'm concerned about resource officers that have no training with children. We have to have a college degree. They don't. There was that trouble.
Your time's up, sir.
Oh, no, come on. In Texas, where she tased
Sir?
Next is approval of consent action, of action items in the agenda under consent.
Thank you.
Mr. Navarro, thank you.
Documentation for action items listed under consent is made available to board members 7 days prior to the board meeting. We are expected to review all the material, and we have an opportunity to speak with the superintendent with any questions that we may have regarding the recommendations. Board members, are there any agenda items you wish to pull for discussion under the unfinished business table, excuse me, items portion of the agenda? Ms. Fisher?
I have no pulls this evening.
Ms. Giovanelli?
None.
Ms. Patrica? Mr. Teuber?
None.
Ms. Lavriviere?
I have none.
Dr. Kuckel? None. And I have none. Okay, so Dr. Atkins, please read your recommendation for the pooled item.
There are none.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
That's
thinking
okay.
about the
Consent agenda. I understand.
Okay. Is there a motion for the consent?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? So it was Mrs. LaRiviere and Ms. Fisher? Any discussion? Okay. Please record your vote. Okay, motion carries 7-0. Included in the approval of consent items on the agenda are the resolutions proclaiming September 17th, 2018 as Constitution Day and Citizenship Day, as well as September 15th through October 15th, 2018 is National Hispanic Heritage Month. Dr. Adkins, are there any administrators you wish to introduce?
Yes, one, I'd like to introduce Lori Witt, Exceptional Student Education, moving from a Learning Resource Specialist to Coordinator, Exceptional Student Education. Congratulations.
That's it? Okay. The next is board member comments. Yeah, board member comments. So, Ms. Fisher?
Wow, okay.
Moving too fast.
Yes, that was quick. Okay. I wanted to just make some comments regarding the Hispanic Heritage Month, which pays tribute to the generations of Hispanic Americans who have positively influenced and enriched our nation and society. It particularly celebrates Hispanic arts and culture and is therefore supported by the Library of Congress, the National Archives and Records Administration, National Endowment for Humanities, National Gallery of Art, Park Service, Smithsonian Institute, and the United States Holocaust Museum. It was started in 1968 with National Hispanic Week until President Reagan made it a month in 1988. And it is actually in law, Public Law 100-402. I mentioned before that today commemorates the tragedy on 9/11, and I have another quote that I would like to read. We will always remember everyone we lost on 9/11. Let us thank the first responders who keep us safe and who honor all who defend our country and the ideals that bind us together. There's nothing our resilience and resolve can't overcome, and no act of terror who can ever change who we are. And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you.
I have none.
No, thank you.
I have just one comment, and that is something that one of our pastors shared in his sermon. Our children need the generations before them to be for them. Think about that.
Thank you. Dr. Kuckel? And I have none. Mr. Dodig?
I do not, thank you.
Dr. Adkins?
No comments this evening.
Okey doke. The next scheduled meeting of the board will be September 25th, 2018. At this point, actually, we will be adjourning, just so you know, to Training Room D for our debrief. At this point, having no other business to come before this body, I will entertain a motion for adjournment. Okay, I got Melissa is the second. Who's the, Ms. Fisher? Yes. Okay, please record your vote.
I was just seeing Steve starting to look like he was gonna.
Check out before I could vote.
I voted for everybody.
You were so good.
Motion carries 7-0. We are adjourned.